so much of human suffering is really a result of different forms of disconnection. If you think about it, reflect on it. Almost every form of human suffering has a strong element of you're disconnected to something that feels important. You know, you're depressed. You're disconnected to that which you're disconnected from well-being. You're in pain. You then feel disconnected from peace. You're anxious. You feel disconnected from calm. You're angry. You feel disconnected from your heart. Or you're defended. But all the various forms of, I call them optional suffering. So let's say probably like 95% of our suffering is, at the end of the day, optional. What I mean by optional is it's caused in large part by our resistance to what is. Our pushing back, either pushing against something or grabbing hold, identified with. So it's this push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. And most of our suffering is this sort of endless push, pull, right? There's something innately unsatisfying about it, do you know? And so we're usually we're pushing and pulling, pushing and pulling, pushing and pulling, you know, trying to, well, whatever we're trying to do, trying to accomplish something internally. But the more we push away some difficult experience, the more disconnected you feel. And then when you feel disconnected, you push away more because it's uncomfortable. So you try to not feel uncomfortable, but when you try to not feel uncomfortable, you just feel more uncomfortable. It's like when you feel anxious and then you try not to be anxious. Now you're anxious about being anxious. And so you've added another level of anxiety. Or you're depressed. And you start thinking about your depression. Oh my God, I'm so depressed. This is so awful. Now you're depressed. You're not just depressed, you're depressed about the fact that you're depressed. Right? And so it's this pushing away. And it causes a kind of disconnection. Hence the age-old spiritual teaching, just be still. Just stop. Which just means really like stop pushing and pulling. Stop pushing anything away. Stop grabbing anything, grabbing at anything. Just stop. My interpretation of just stop or be still is allow everything to be as it already is. I was just talking to somebody yesterday, in fact, talking to a friend, and he mentioned this teaching of allow everything to be as it is, and was talking about how, you know, on the surface level, to allow everything to be as it is seems pretty simple, you know, and you think you're doing it. But then you really investigate. Am I actually allowing everything to be as it is? To really, what does that even mean? To really, really, really allow something, anything, any experience to be what it is, right? Not allow what it is, waiting for it to change, because then you're not allowing it to be as it is, but allowing everything, everything, everything. And so what he was sharing was when he actually got to the point of allowing everything to be as it actually is, all of a sudden there was this tremendous intimacy with everything. This profound and beautiful intimacy showed up. Aha! That's what shows up when I allow everything to be as it is. But we can think we're allowing everything to be as it is, when we're actually not. We're utilizing it as a sort of strategy. So part of us is allowing everything to be as it is. Another part's like looking like, okay, how is this working out for me? Do I feel better? Is it, which isn't really allowing it to be as it is. There's still a kind of strategizing. But then all of a sudden, you really allow everything to be as it is for a moment. And when we're allowing everything to be as it is, there's nothing that's fracturing our experience into preferable, not preferable, I want this, I want that. All of a sudden our experience all by itself just unifies, just like all at once. It's like this, a kind of split can heal itself in a split second. But this something as, as simple sounding as allow everything to be as it is, I've always found that the most powerful teachings, the most transformative teachings are always the simplest. And they're the ones that are the easiest to discard because you can think that you're really doing it when you're really not. You're like, wow, allow everything to be as is. Okay, I'm allowing it. Okay, I'm allowing everything to, I'm bored. When nothing's changing, nothing's happening. This isn't working for me, and there's not any real allowing to be as it is, right? There's just, there's waiting, anticipating, measuring, So it's tricky with a simple teaching. Simple doesn't mean that it lacks depth. Like I said, I have always found the most powerful teachings are always the simplest. But they're also the most demanding because we have to enter them with a kind of real humility. We have to enter them with a sense of not being so sure that we even know what they mean. And so to actually apply it then becomes sort of a process of discovery. Like, what does it mean to be still? What does it mean to stop? What does it mean to allow everything to be as it is? What does it actually mean? Because usually what we do is we assume we know what it means. I know what it means to stop. I mean, any fool knows what it means to stop, and now I'm trying to stop, and it's not working. And right there, as soon as we assume I know what it means, we'll never find out what it means. Because a good spiritual teaching, even when it's simple as stop or be still or allow everything to be as it is, these are like invitations, right? Really, we can't just assume we know what they mean. Where they're much better related to as a mystery, like what does this mean to stop? What could it actually mean right now? What could it possibly mean for me to really, really, actually, really stop? Not pretend to stop, not kind of stop, or mostly stop. What on earth could it even possibly mean to really just stop? And dare I do that for more than a second or two? And can I stop just a little bit more than this? And wow, it feels like everything is stopped. And can I stop just a little bit more than this?